Okay, Bert Lewis here at the Queeset House, Ames Free Library, part of the Ames Free Library. I'm at the William Ames podcasting room with Sherry McIntyre. How are you, Sherry?
Good.
Sherry came in to make a podcasting appointment this morning, and we started talking to see exactly what she wanted to do. And I have her card. And so we thought we would do a real live example of a podcast.
Yeah.
She wanted to know what it was all about. This is considered a video podcast. And that's what we're doing here this morning with the video. So, Sherry, tell me exactly you wanted to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And what do you want to say? I mean, explain like your organization and what happened, etc.
What I want to say is I had a brain bleed, which was an AVM. It ruptured, and so I had brain bleed. But it's sort of like an aneurysm.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to educate people on aneurysms and things like that because people aren't educated that well on what happens.
I see.
Yeah, they're thrown into a situation they don't know anything about usually. Because of technology,
Right.
it's getting better. They are more and more aware of what's going on. Most people used to die of this.
Right.
Immediately, they would die.
But you survived.
Yeah.
And when you're writing a book,
Mm-hmm.
you've written the book, you just tweaking it.
Manuscript, yeah.
Manuscript, waiting for it to get published.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. You said in October is
Yeah.
your goal. So when did your this aneurysm start?
I didn't know anything I didn't know I had one.
Okay.
So
What year was this?
2016 New Year's
16.
Day. It
Okay.
happened to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll give you a brief description of what
Yeah,
happened. I had a rupture, and I had no signs of it. I was in the bathroom. So I told my daughter to get my husband. If they weren't there, it was New Year's Day, I would be gone.
Okay.
Because there's no way I could get to a phone. And so my husband came in, I was coming out, and my hands started shaking
Right.
uncontrollably. I knew there's something very wrong.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I told him to call an ambulance, and I fell. He
boy.
caught me, and I passed out.
That's
But
the last thing you remember.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, for weeks.
Oh, you were passed out for weeks?
Yeah, they put me into induced coma.
Okay.
Well, first I went to, the ambulance came and they brought me to Cardiff Hospital.
Okay.
And from there they found out I had brain bleed.
Yeah.
And they airlifted me to Mass General,
Okay. Yeah.
where they saved my life.
Wow.
And I was there for a month. They did a whole bunch of surgeries, I think 3. They had to do
Wow.
angiogram, right, which is a tube that goes up your
Yeah.
groin
Yeah.
to your brain.
Wow.
Find the bleed. I don't even know. A lot of people know that they have aneurysms, and so either they wear out, either one. Which one is worse? I don't know. They're both bad as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you're walking around with a ticking time bomb in your head.
Right.
I consider it like being shot in the head.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So either way, it's bad. But I went from Mass General for a month. I was at Spalding for a month. I was at Copley Nursing Home for a month.
Yeah.
And I've been home doing therapy. I went to Braintree Rehab for about, I went to speech. So I have a lot. I couldn't walk.
Okay. Wow.
And I couldn't drive, and now I do both. But I go to actually exercise. Exercise is so important.
Where do you do that, Sherry?
I go to the senior center up on Barrow Street.
Okay. Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I love the people lately are so nice.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think that the older people are nicer because they help each other and they have been through hardships.
Right, right.
So I feel as though they are more in tune with what's going
Okay,
on.
they can relate
Yeah.
better, yeah. What do they have, Zumba up there, I think?
Yeah, I go Zumba, but then my instructor there are two girls that work there that I love, Karen McNeely and Juliana.
Okay,
And so I always say her name wrong, Gilliana. Okay, is that right?
all right.
And I go, she actually teaches at the Y, Gilliana, so I go the Y
okay.
also.
Okay,
So I go back and forth. And, but I have a big story. After this happened to me, when I was in the hospital,
Yeah.
I said to my family, you should get tested. And so my sister, who has bad headaches, I
Right.
never had a bad headache. But they said when you have an aneurysm or rupture,
yeah.
the worst thing you have is a bad headache.
Oh,
a
boy.
worse headache like you've never had before. It's called a thunderclap headache.
Oh, wow. When it happened, you mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but some people have them, some people don't. But I just want people to be aware of what to do.
Okay, yeah.
So I want to give a lot of information I have about that. There are well, after this happened to me, my sister, who has very bad headaches,
Yeah,
and my mother and my daughter, they all got tested because I don't care what you say, it is hereditary. From everything I've been reading and educating myself on,
right.
it is. And a lot of doctors are uninformed on a lot of this stuff. But anyway, when they got tested, my mother found out she had 2 aneurysms in her brain.
Okay,
So we have the prior handling it with her
yeah.
and having a rupture. So I have 2 different outlooks on the whole thing.
I see.
It is very financially awful,
Okay,
physically devastating,
right, right.
and so yeah,
There's a lot to it.
yeah.
There's a lot of aspects to it. So, do you have a name for your book yet? Is there a name?
Yeah.
Can
I'm
you
not telling you
You
yet.
cannot. Okay.
No,
All right.
I'll tell you.
Offline?
after. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So, all right. So you said you're going to have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You want to have a YouTube.
Yeah.
And so you'll do a video
Yeah.
periodically? Is that
Yeah.
once a month? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to help people. It will probably turn into a weekly thing
Yeah.
because there are other things, but people don't tend to. They think they're being kind, but they're not really.
Right.
Yeah, they think they are a nice person, but I know I have mixed feelings on that.
I see. Are you? You mentioned this Aneurysm Foundation. You're involved with that too?
Yeah.
Do they have Is it local? Or?
Yeah, it's in Hanover.
Okay.
It is
In
the only
Hanover.
one
There's a
around.
chapter over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only one around.
Anywhere.
The Brain
Okay.
Aneurysm
Wow.
Foundation. That tells you how rare of a disease it is, but they are saving people's lives every day by funding and information.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So,
So-
they're trying to bring awareness to. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. No, that's great. That's great. So I'm glad you stopped by. What we'll do is this is being recorded. We'll finalize the recording, and then I'll put it on YouTube, and I'll send you the link. So this will be your very first one.
That's great.
All right, Sherry. Well, let's close this off. Anything else you want to say in closing?
I want people to be aware of brain
Okay,
aneurysms.
right. All right, Sherry, thank you very much, and we'll talk later.